Okay, guys, welcome back. I'm a little bit early. I'm about 4 minutes early, but I want to get in here early because there's still lots to do today. So, what I'm planning to do is, first of all, I put a post on the Facebook group a while ago asking for questions for a day with Zenler because this session is all about you guys. So, it's been all about you all today, really, because we've been looking at Nest Jones' site and I've been showing you how to do builds. So, if you've got a thing like a WordPress site, you can just use the same methodology and you take it across. In fact, you could use any site you like the look of. But there are some caveats. And as I was mentioning, if you're using imagery from another site, you've got to make sure that it isn't copyrighted or it's free for you to be able to use. Best thing to do is to set it up yourself. Now, even if you're getting and this happens quite a bit, if you're getting a website to do this, a website designer to do this, sometimes they might not be what can I say, proper website designers, and they might grab imagery that is copyright. And the thing you need to remember is that if you are taking on a website designer for a contract and they put stolen imagery on your site, then you, as the client, as the owner of the website, will be liable. Okay, so a very big one. You should always make sure that you know the source of the images that you're getting. So I mentioned that at the beginning. Sites like Wix or Weebly might have bought stock imagery that they use specifically on their site that is copyrighted to them. Okay, it's a way to lock you into the platform. This often happens with Zenler here. We lock into Pixabay for the free image resources that you're allowed to use. So it's a little bit different. Okay. So be careful of that because it is something that's come up, and imagery and those sort of things can be searched for if you're using it. And if you get a letter in your email saying you owe me $10,000 for using my imagery, pay up now, you can be in trouble. Okay, so be very, very, very careful. If you're using a website design that's got imagery in there, they should be supplying you with the source of where they got the imagery or the rights to that imagery. Okay, so be careful of that. It's a big one. Okay, and that's even with video footage and those sort of things. So be really careful. All right. So just to warn you. All right, so here we go. So we're carrying on with Ness's build, but first of all, I'm going to jump to what I put on the group a while ago, asking for some, questions to come in. So here we go. Here, so I put this post out a little while ago. It's on the 15th of June, and I asked people to give me some questions on what they want to know. So Sarah and Tony here. Thank you, Sarah. She was on our testimonials lives that we ran. Really good. She said, I want to set up a second site and it's possible. So if you've got a paid plan, Pro or Premium, Pro, you can set up 3 sites, Premium, you can set up 10 sites. All right. So really easy to do. If you jump into your admin dashboard, you can easily set your sites up. Okay. So what you're going to see is you're going to see under the account settings. Now you need to be in the root of your site. Okay, that's one thing to bear in mind. You need to be in the root of the site. I'm not in the root of the site yet, so I need to jump into the root of the site so that I can actually show you I'm in the root of the site now. All right, so back to screen share. So root site would be the site that you signed up for. All right, that's the root. So all others are off the back of that, and you'll see a list of your sites here. You can see that I've got sites in here. So if you were to go into account settings here, then and turn that off, then you will see if you've got any sites in here. So it says sites down here. And all you need to do is add a site. Now, I think this is a pro account, but you just click add a site. And you can just go through those steps, and these will be separate independent sites. Okay, but you can see them from each site. So if you're in the Zen pop-up, for instance, I can see this site, I can see this site, and I can jump between them, but they are independent. So you can set up separate Stripe, PayPal, the email or authentication, all of these sort of things. That custom domain, subdomain, you can set everything's up separately. However, this is the parent site, okay, and that's where you add your sites from. It's the parent site, Sarah. So nice quick one there, easy. Just run through the steps. Add. It tells you what you can do there. You click continue, and you can add that as a site, okay. And then you'll have that domain there, and you can set it up like you did the original first site. So Sarah, that is for you. Okay, so next question. Let me just jump back because some of these I can do from the roots from the other site here. Right, okay, let me. Right, so I'm going to flick to here. I can't really do this. Ganila's asking if I've got any time, can I put all the answers to the questions that I'm in here into a thread or something? No, I answer questions constantly every day, hundreds of stuff. It's impossible for me to keep up. You just need to watch this and follow this. I've told you it's in a day with Zenler. You just need to go and watch it. And it's in the last session. I will be replying to everyone, telling them to look at the last session, the beginning. So here we go. So got some more here. And I've got Richard Emmons. Hi, Richard. I've not seen you on the group before. Okay, so my course will have video reading lessons for Monday to Thursday, 4 lessons, and a live coach call-in on Friday at a fixed time. Students can join at any time, so the Friday call won't cover the materials from Monday to Thursday. I plan to post replays. I can't make it. The calls are happening. Thanksgiving, Christmas. How should I schedule this? Should I use a single module? Well, what I would say to you, Richard, probably the easiest way of doing this, you could set up reoccurring lives, but I'd probably make this as part of a course. And inside a course, you can set up your lives and you can drop them in there. So if I jump to this, for instance, and I've set any lives up, I'm not sure any are active, but if I go to my courses and I go into one of the courses, one of these, and I go into the curriculum part, you're going to see here I could set up a playlist, a Monday, Friday, Thursday, additional stuff, and I could drop a live straight in there. That way your students can come in one place, they can buy this as a membership or something like that, and they can just click book my spot in here, and then they can just jump straight in. So that's what I would do. And of course, automations and things like that can fire out from the automations tab. It just keeps it all in one place, better than sending them down the line. And it also means that if you run out of your reoccurring sessions and you only get 30, then it means that it won't really affect them because they come into the course and see book your spot if you set a new one up. So I would take the course route every time for this. That's what it's kind of designed for. So if we look at the curriculum inside here, just going to curriculum as a student, you're going to see inside here people can just click this and they can, it's already ended, but they can click book the spot. And of course you can put anything else you like inside of here as well, so you can run this course as a sort of membership. So I would say that would probably be the best way forward for you, Richard. Right, how to set up the affiliate program terms email series to help them sell their courses to friends. You can, I'll tell you what, Richard, do what we're doing here. Jump into the partner program that Kevin's running. If you check on session 2, the beginning of session 2 of A Day with Zenler for June, you'll see he's talking about it. He's talking about how you can get these things going. Now, it is the Zenler partner program, but your affiliate program you could set up as well. So inside of here, to communicate with your affiliates, you can actually filter them out. So if I go to site, hold on 1 second, I'm going to make sure that nobody outside of me, some people join my Zen pop-up site even though they know it's a test site, so I need to just check that I've got nobody in here that shouldn't be in here. And no, that's good. I've got someone who's joined with a fake. I wish that they wouldn't do that. I really wish they wouldn't do that. I understand they're interested, want to be in the site, but they're not going to get anything. So someone's put in here this screams Kashimi. I don't know who it is. It's someone who's just tested something out and put something fake in there, but hasn't received an email because I only sent content out if it's a legitimate email. So try not to do that, guys, or let me know so that I can get it out. So that's why I have to check these sites now, because people see this stuff. Okay, so right. So what you can do is you can use filtering inside here. So you can add a filter and you can go by role type, and then you could pick the role of affiliate. and then you can apply a filter. So you can apply this filter in your email broadcast so you can send it out to them. Now you might want to, and this is another idea, set up a marketing funnel that's for your affiliates. So you're an affiliate of mine, please put your name, email address in here and sign up to this funnel. And that way you could send emails out through the funnel itself, the marketing funnel. So it's another way of doing it. As far as the affiliate program is concerned, you can just go down to, on the left hand side, the affiliate program. You just make sure, I always put my cookies on about 365, so it's open for a year. If I was, before you ask, if I put this on 7, for instance, then that's when the cookie expires. So if someone, not me, someone, one of my affiliates, get someone to come to my course and they buy it, even though they've got them and they come to my course, if it's after 7 days, they won't get the referral. All right. So be clear about your affiliate terms, set up a page of terms and conditions or add it to your terms and conditions under affiliate. You'll need to word that. I'm not going to give you the wording for it. And you can then send your affiliates there if you want to, okay? But you can email them using that filter technique. So 365, that's a year. So after a year, if they come there, then it won't be thing, but it's a long time, a year. But be clear to your affiliates what's going on. Payments, you again make sure the affiliates are filling in their PayPal address as well when they are becoming affiliates of you. It's worth going testing as an affiliate to see what they see as well. You can see reports in here as well of what's going on. So you can see reports from the affiliate side as well, okay, inside there. So that is your affiliate program inside here. So settings, under the settings side here, you have things going on. I don't know why that's not coming up. That should be coming up. It's probably from my master site. Hold on 1 second. So let me just jump into this. Let's go to my affiliate program. Yeah. So if I've got an affiliate in here, I can then assign them a commission rate. Okay. So you can actually set that a commission rate. So let me just show you that quickly. And you can do it on a per user level. So I'm going to go to screen share again. I'm going to jump into, let's see if there's any affiliates in here. Oh, I set some up. So inside here, if you go to the edit button, notice this is a student, but also an affiliate. So, and I filtered it on affiliates down here. So if I go and I edit this, you're going to see under affiliate details, I can put the percentage. Okay. So I can also say whether it's for a specific course or all courses. Specific course, you can then select the course and they're going to get 50% commission. That's their affiliate link there. That's their end part, the affiliate code. And you can say whether it's active, so you can turn them off or on as well. And all courses, or like I said, specific courses. So you can add that there. You can also add more as well. So in there, I could choose that one as well, an update. And that way that affiliate's got 50% on these particular 2 courses. You can't change the rate. So you can't have one course 30 and another course 50. It's just a set price. Okay. So that's how you can set each affiliate up that you've got. And of course, as I mentioned before, you can just go to here to see all your affiliates and you can jump in there to see what their commission rates are. Okay. Generally, you would keep it standard and you would keep it the same. So hopefully that's answered your question as well there. So what's next? So that's Richard sorted. Yeah, some of these you can't do. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. We've got learn. Is it possible to work around relearner progress on their courses? So you can go in and you can see the progress of students through your course, and you can do that all from the reports. So under reports here, you can look at course progress and you can see what's going on. You can run a report on that as well. So if I say, let me do all time, I don't know if I've got anybody in here. So done a course. So I can add more. Let me just add a few courses in here. Hopefully one of them's got, and then I can run a report on it and it will give me a report, 5 students and all these, and I can export that out as well. You can drill down further by going in and finding out the percentage that they've done, and you can of course export that list out here. So it's an exported list of people that have done that course. All right, so that gives you a full listing. You can also do the same with sales, affiliates, quizzes, and even the video analytics. You can come in here and you can see the amount of views happening on these videos as well. You can see there to see which are the most popular ones. Impressions, that's how many people have been on it. They might have bounced out, and the actual views are like the views for finishing it. Okay, that's why it's always less. And finishes there. So views and then finishes of views, yeah, which is always less than the views. You see what I mean? So they hit the page, jump out, or they stay on the page and view it. They don't finish it. This is finishes, unique views, unique impressions, average time watched here. So average time watched, total time watched of the entire video from your users. That's in part or whole. So that gives you a full breakdown. So you can see this one is really, really popular. This is a test site. But I did it with Natalia Kuna and I had it on a live, and I think a lot of people watched it because of that. So that is a good way to see the popular videos that are going on. David Zenler, put that one in there. It's got a lot of views. Not quite sure how. And again, you know, you can view the course video analytics, so you can run it per course as well. So view them on that particular course, etc. So that is all about that. Okay, we are rippling through these. So that should help you learn. Laura Donnelly, several things, lots of questions here. I'm not going to answer them all because we have other questions. So I'm going to have a look. Right, several things for me. Part one, big scary change for me. I want to consolidate by moving the content from my WordPress site to Zenler site. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so watch the live build that I just did today, Laura. Best practices, I told you that in that as well. Make 2 Zenler sites, combine them all in one. Really up to you whether you want to make them 2 or 1. If you want to, some people do it for on-demand courses and then they might have another site set up for memberships. Really up to you how you want to handle that. Can't really answer it. So part 2, process questions. I want to move all my email contacts to Zenler from Kit. I'll need to provide remove duplicates. Does what happens? Yeah, so if you've got a duplicate, so say I've got laura@laura.com, okay, and I have 2 of those, then if I import them into Zenler, it will only show 1, so it dedupes the duplicates. Okay, however, if the name is different, like you're called Fiona for instance on one sheet and you load it in there, and then you have Laura on the next sheet and you import it in there, based on the email address it'll update that name. Okay, so be careful of that. So deduping is always a good thing. Make sure you're meeting the GDPR requirements, meaning that you're not taking people from one site to a completely different site. You're not allowed to do that unless you ask for permission. Okay, so if you're moving a domain, if it's mojomojo.design and you're moving it to a new site, for instance, and I have mojomojo, then I can import them across because they've signed up for that. I've just moved my site and I've moved the people with it. But if it's called something completely different, then I'm breaking GDPR because I haven't got their consent to sign up for that new site domain. Okay, so be careful of that. That includes with emails as well, so you can get into trouble for that if you don't do it. So hopefully, Laura, that sorted you out in there as well. So a lot of that is to do with the live build this morning. We've done lots of live builds. There's tons of them on the YouTube channel. So how to create a live meeting in a course? Really easy. Create a live one-to-one booking or a live class and then drop it in to your curriculum. So I already showed you, I think earlier when we were looking at courses, if I've created a live to live booking in one of these or a live class, I can come in here, I can add a lesson, I can choose a live type, then I can select the live that's live, let's choose that one, click done, and suddenly that's in there. Okay, so when they go into the curriculum, they can book now. Simple. Really nice and easy one. So we've got Marian Bell. Not sure how big. Hi, Marian. Not sure how big this is, but can Zenler AI on the page builder? I answered this one, right? Okay, so the AI feature on Zenler is for creating text. It's not for doing crazy stuff like give me the code for styling the headings in green and having a table with 40 columns in it. It's not for that. It's purely for text changes in there. So I'll just show you quickly kind of how it works, and then you guys have got it. So I'm going to go into pages here. I'm just going to go into a test page. Now, sometimes this doesn't work when I'm streaming, all right? It's absolutely fine when I do video editing. When I stream, it changes. So I got text in here. If I click AI, you can get it to create a heading. So you're going to see it come up here. Look, it's created a new heading for me. It's not a place where you go and type, can you do this? Can you do that? It's just purely for the type. So it's rewrite selected text as body, generate headings, or generate new content based on stuff. Okay. So that's how you're using it. If I generate the content, it'll give me more content based on the learn marketing funnels, which look, it's giving me a load of content there. And you can ask it to, to a certain degree, you can change it. But you can regenerate there as well. So what you would do there is you could then copy that, and then you could go back into the page and you could set up a new text, and then I could type in there and then I could paste it in there. That's my text pasted in. So AI is working, but it's all for text. It's not for doing anything too crazy. All right. So hopefully that helps. Nice to make my page more visually appealing. So yeah, that's what you're asking for. You're asking for, can you style it and do this? If you do that, then you'll need to know a little bit about code, like where to put your CSS style sheets, if it's a pure HTML block, you'll need to use the HTML block in Zenler, and it might not work because it might not tie to the style sheet. So unless you know what you're doing, Marianne, then don't touch it. Okay. Simple. I answered it in there anyway. So, courageously confident readers, how to set up the price and price my membership. I want a smart membership called Family Learning Adventure with me monthly. Home. I'm struggling to figure out the best plan. Well, you've already said it. If you want a monthly membership, set up a subscription for a monthly membership. I want to do a founding member launch that when gradually raise the price as members grow. So you can't just change people's pricing, all right? You could do an early bird offer, like sort of look what we do for Zenler. You could go in, you could set the price. Let's make it really easy, £400 a month, right? But you want to do an early bird offer. So you could create a coupon and give them sort of 50% off, so they only pay 200 a month. Do you see what I mean? And then you can hard code that into the button so that they get that applied, or you could send an email out saying, if you join my membership, I'll give you 50% off forever, or for a certain amount of billing, okay, based on the pricing plan. So that's how you could do it there, but it's really up to you. Members, there's a million different ideas for memberships in here. All of them are possible inside Zenler. It's just you need to find out the best version that works with you. Okay. So if you have people, by the way, if you just set the price to say $200 a month and you get members come in there, and then later on you increase it to 400, the people that are on 200 will not pay any more. Okay, so you need to think very carefully about if you want those people grandfathered, which is what we do at Zenler, or you want them only to have access for a certain amount of time. And you could set the coupon up so that you could creep the coupon up if you wanted to, or you could base it on the amount of months before that would go up. So it's really up to you how you want to do it. You could say, under your terms, you could reach out to everybody and say, right, everybody unenroll because I'm putting my prices up, but it's going to annoy people. So generally, it's a good thing to build and not increase people's prices unless you plan it all out carefully. So that's what upsells and bumps are for, right? Okay, so courageous, confident readers, that's you sorted, I think. So how to post an assignment in my community. So how to post an assignment in my community? Well, if Nicola, so it's a good question. So if they are part of the course and they are in the community, you can post a direct link to the assignment. All right. So I'll give you an example. Let me go in and do this now. Let's leave this. Let me go into, right. So if I've got a course, let's go into, this one, for instance, if I go into my pricing plan and I've got a community or a discussion community, which is probably the best one to use. If I've got them in here, I'm just checking something first. No, I haven't got them in here. So I would probably create a discussion community. So I'm going to go into curriculum. To automatically create a discussion community, it's really easy. You can just turn discussions on in one of your lessons. So if I go enable discussions, that's now going to create a community. I can also show in line, which means underneath the lesson. So I've now created a community called around there, Your Healthy Living Digital Download. So now anybody that's in this course has access to that community. Okay. So now what I can do is I can go to add, here we go. We've got an assignment in here. I think that's an assignment. There it is, an assignment. So I can add a link directly to this lesson for those people that are in that community because they're part of this course. If they're not part of the course, you can't do this because they're going to get a 404 page or an access denied because they're not part of the course. They'll have to buy it. So get that right. They need to be in the course for you to send the direct link. But to get this direct link, really easy. This is my assignment. Okay, I've set up. So I go to preview, I go to course curriculum as student, I go down to my assignment, and notice this will change. When I change this, this number changes at the end. This is the URL for that assignment. So anyone that's logged in, and they will be if they're in the community, can jump straight into this lesson. So if you've got that set up, you can see it says community there. You can go into that community and I should have it, health and lifestyle. Here it is here. Let me just check there. I could now post that link in here. And because only people that are in this community are part of that course and they're logged in, if they're writing inside here, they'll be able to click that link and go straight through to that page. Yeah, hopefully that's clear. I hope. All right, Nicola. So I'm going to buzz everyone an email telling them what's going on. So all right, so that's it. I finished that one. Is the day scheduled yet? Yeah, last Friday every month, which it is today. Right, I've answered all those questions. Brilliant. We can move on. So, had another question. This is a really good one. So, I need some advice. Actually, I'm going to jump to this one. It's quicker. I'm offering a one-time payment, 3 months for £33, $33 for my membership, but I want the automatic regular pricing of 29 amount. So 3 payments of 33 and then it go to 29 a month. All right. On the 4th month. Really simple. Well, takes a little bit of getting your head round, but I'm going to go into pricing. I'm going to go to, because we know that it's a subscription. So I'm going to click subscription. I'm going to come into the subscription area. Let's go. We're going to say the price is, let me just double check, 29 a month. So I'm going to go 29 a month. And we can set so we want it 33, so it's 29, it's 4, so $4. Oh, maybe we can't do it. Sure, the trial days, hold on. Let me turn that off. Trial days. Ah, okay. There is a way. I was so sure that I could just do this. Set an additional one-time fee. Well, I could do that. So 29. Yeah, that's only once. So I could add 4 over 3 months, which is 12, onto this price, set an additional tip. They have to pay it in one go, but then they would get access. You would get the money. So you could say additional fee is going to be 41, and then next month it will be 29, and that would work out to be correct. But that's not a clear way of doing it. So you guys, you just come up with all these different ways. So you can give them a free trial. Just have a look at something here. Just want to have a look at the comments because I think Nephew said something here, and I want to just check. Oh, what's just set up? You go to subscription and then set trial days to 90. That's 3 months. Turn on additional fee and enter 33. No, that's not right. So set an additional fee, 33, set the regular price to 29. So your student pays 33 up front, gets access for 3 months, and then it automatically switches over. Yeah, but you're saying that you want it every month. For setting a subscription plan with a 3-month trial and charging a trial fee. Oh, okay, yeah. So that is right. So that is right. So additional fee, 33, and then trial. Aha, yes. Sorry, it takes a little bit of working sometimes. So definitely additional 33. Okay. And then we say the trial days is 90 because that's 3 months. So what's happening here now, right, is someone comes in, it's set on trial of 90 days, right? But you're charging an additional upfront fee of 33. And then after that finishes, the 29 will come into effect. Now, 29 doesn't come into effect straight away because you've got trial days on at 90. Yeah. So let me just finish this and have a look. Let me name it up front. So sometimes you need to think about this. So actually, it was really good. Okay, let's have a look at this. I just want to preview the sales page of this. Just have a look. Got to go through to this page. Okay. Right. Have I got it set in there? Trial days. Let me turn that one off. Okay, that's good. Am I going through to the right page? Let me just go to pages because I've got this site is all over the place. Let me click in here. Have a look. All right. Yeah, here we go. So due today, £33. After 90 days trial, it will be charged at 29 US dollars a month and billing forwards. So that's what it's done. You've added a free trial for 90 days. Trial fee for 90 days of 33. So that's fantastic. Yeah, there's always a way to do this stuff. So that helps Suzanne out. So you've been waiting a long time, Suzanne. Sorry about that, but that's done. So your question is answered. So it brings me to this one now, which is Adina's one. So Adina's put, hi everyone, I need some advice on the best way to set up a live webinar with these requirements. Live webinar that can be purchased separately. Okay, so live webinars you can't charge for. So you might have to do it through a course and then send an automation to the live webinar. Okay, so that's how you might want to do it. Replay access for a limited time. So I can definitely help you with this one. You can put a redirect on the page. So where you have your page for your replay page, if you're running it through the live, okay, I think there's always so many ways to do it. So live webinar on the replay page, for instance, let's jump into here. That's this page. What you can do on the replay page is you could set a timer out. So if you finished like today on the 27th and you only want access till the 1st, for instance, you could set in here a little countdown timer. And you can put something like access until, and then in here you can go date timer. You can put the date. So let's choose the date on the 1st. This is going to expire at, let's say 12. Okay. So 1st of July at 12, something like that. There we go. At 12 o'clock. Yeah. And then you can say expiry action redirect. So you could then redirect them to another page on your site or wherever saying no longer available. Okay. So you could set a page up, no longer available. So anyone hits this page after that time that you set in there will hit the page and they're just about to press the button and they'll be whizzed off to another page saying, sorry, you haven't got access. So that's how you can do it using a countdown timer. If you want this not to appear, you can put it on here, or you could say if you didn't want it to appear, you could do it in the same color styling. So you could take the digit color, in this case the background's white, so I could just choose white and then I could sort of get it to disappear. Click save. You know it's there, but no one can see it. So that's how you could do it. Available for this date, and then if people come thereafter, they're bounced out. Okay, so that's how you could do that. For sure. Option to bundle with my membership where the webinar is included. So yeah, you could, if you've got the download of it, you could upload that to a course or a membership. You can just put it in there. Minimal manual work. There's always work with lives because they're live. So you need to go and set them up. You need to do a certain bit of looking around, but the automation part of the countdown works automatically. The live webinar purchase, you'd have to do it for a course because we haven't at this time got the ability to charge for webinars. At least I don't think we have at this stage. No, you can see it's in there. Okay, so consider using an interactive webinar if you can. You can lock it out so people can't share their screens or anything like that. If it has to be a webinar, then unfortunately not. You'd have to do it for a course, and then you could use something like Zapier to enroll them into a live webinar or something like that, but it will require a bit more setting. I think there is going to be the option to charge for live webinars at some point. I will ask that question, but that's all I can help with. So guys, there you go. At 33 minutes, cleared those questions up in there. And that was it, I think. And any more nice little questions in here that I can answer today? Nope, they're all done. So I'm going to jump back to our live build. All right, guys. So that was for you. If you asked the question in there, you got the answer. All right, so let's move on. So we're continuing on. And what I want to do is I want to move a bit quicker because we're not going to get all these pages done in the time. So I'm going to start connecting up the menu system inside here. So I'm going to jump to screen share. Now we've done home, we've done guardians, we've done trainers. So I've got them in here. I've got the guardians and the trainer. So I've got the home page. I set the home page in the last session. Yeah. So now I want to start to link my menu system up. So I'm going to click the edit button in here and we're going to start to link it to the various pages. So from this home page, which I'm on now here, I'm going to start to link our stuff up. So if I go to Guardians, this is the service, the Guardians page here. So I'm going to be setting this up. So the Guardians one, I think, is this one here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this URL, just the end part, not this part, just after the domain name, /guardian. Okay, that's the bit I'm clicking. Why am I not grabbing the whole URL? Some of you probably know the answer because I've told you this a few times. If you put the whole URL in and you go and change the name of the website, okay, it will not go through to the right place. All right, now it's a little bit different for custom domains and subdomain because it actually embeds it in there. All right, but if you go and change your Zenler site name, for instance, and the URL, it will not work. However, if you use what's called a relative URL, which is what this is, /, so whatever the domain name is, whatever you want to call it, if you change it, whatever you want to call it, it's not looking at that. It's just looking at inside the website /. Okay. So this only works on pages inside your Zenler site. It doesn't work. You can't do the same thing and jump from one of your sites to another one of your sites. All right. It's only in that site. So this is called a relative URL. This whole part is called an absolute URL, which means the absolute path. So we're using a relative path here. And I'm just grabbing that and copying it. And I'm going to put that into the menu system. So I'm going to click inside here and I'm going to open menu. And where I've got all courses, because we're not ready for that, I'm going to put in here Guardians. And then I'm going to go to link and I'm going to drop that link in there. And I'm going to click update. And I'm going to click save. And now you can see that's changed to Guardians. So let's do the next page, which is trainers. We've got our little dog there, education for dog professionals. So trainers, education for dog professionals. Here it is. Okay. So again, I'm going to grab that end part here, the relative URL. So the / and then all the rest. Okay. And I'm going to call this trainers. So again, I'm jumping into the site and again, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to edit the one that's in there. And I'm going to call it trainers, and then we're going to test. Visible to all. Notice that as well. You can have this visible to logged in users or logged out users only or all. So I'm going to now paste that in there and I'm going to click update. And now I'm going to save it. And we're going to check that we can jump between these pages. Now I'm just going to look at Ness's site. She has got home here. That's good. So I now want to preview this. I always preview this inside of Incognito, because you get a different result sometimes if you're in here. So here we go, we're in here. So we're on the home page, that's good. If I click Guardians, it's going to jump me to the Guardian page. If I click Trainers, it's going to jump me to the Trainers page. So it all links up nicely. That's taking me back home. That's how you do it. Simple as that. And I think I spelled that wrong. G-A-U. G-U-A. Okay. Okay. So there we have it. That's how we can build it out. So I spent a lot of time showing you how to set these first sort of 3 pages up. So you should have an idea of where we're going with this. So I will carry on going through here. So we do have an About Us page. I started the contact page here. So I changed it a little bit. I made it a little bit different. Sorry, that's not the About Us page. Sorry. So the About Us page here, I started this. So I want to go into it. I want to show you first. Right. So Ness has got this just called About Ness Jones in here. Okay, but it's not good for search engine result. It would be better Ness Jones certified separation anxiety for dogs or something like that. So I want to make sure the page name, because the page name in here is About Us, has that name. So if you look, I've done it here. Okay, this is the new page. So this is that page here. Let's just have a look at it first of all. I'm going to just preview it. And inside here, you can see I've changed it a little bit because Ness on her Weebly site has got a lot of these headers going on. And I wanted it to reflect throughout. So I began to add the graphics at the top to give you this kind of thing. So what I've done with Ness is I've put About Ness Jones, but then I've put what she does here. So I've taken the first paragraph. So if you look, that's the paragraph I've taken. Okay, there. And I've put that at the top with About Ness Jones. Okay, so it becomes clear. And then I've also put a title here, Dog Separation Anxiety. So I've changed the look of it, but I'm sure you agree it looks a lot better like this. Okay. And then I've got the dogs down the bottom. So Ness has got them down there. And then what my client's done, and then you can set up these blocks going in here. Okay. And this is just blocks. You could use an FAQ. You could use a slider to do this, but these are just basically colored blocks just put in here with that color, and we've covered that. So I'm going to link this up under About for her as well. So I'm going to go up the top here and I'm going to link it to that page. So let's go in here and go to about now. So I'm going to add a new one here, and I'm going to say about, and then I want to make sure I'm grabbing the right page. So it's this one. So that relative URL there, copy it, jump back in here, and for that link, I'm going to go to link, drop that in there and click save, and it will appear here. And then I'm going to click save. All right, let's have a look at it. So let's test. So at this stage, when you start linking things together, you should definitely check them regularly. So there you go. I've got about us. So there you go. Got the dog there. That looks good. To add more in there. And you can keep doing that. So you can keep building that up and adding to it. So moving forwards, let me just close these a second. I want to get on to some of this. So we got a podcast here, and this has got all videos in it through here, and it's got a lot of videos. Sometimes I don't suggest you have huge amount of videos like this, because it takes time to load, and there's lots, and they all kind of look the same. So try to, when you're doing your videos, keep them so they look different. So that says it down there, listening questions, it's not very clear what's actually going on. And if it's a series of events, you want to sort of have it very clear with what it says. So we know it's separation anxiety in dogs decoded, but I think it's really important to put listening questions, so you've got what it is nice and big. Because if I was to scan this page, there might be something that I want on here, but I can't see what it says. I'd have to really pay attention and go training and behavior modification for dogs who are struggling with alone time. Whereas this big text, I can see it really clearly. So this is how you should be thinking. You should be thinking like, what is it about? How's it going to grab their attention? It might grab their attention, separation anxiety in dogs decoded, but it doesn't tell me. So that tell me the alone method, but I have to look down here, episode 13, alone. So try and make these visually appealing, also make them look different to each other as well. I think it's a really big one. Like if you look at the Zenler site, for instance, we try and make exactly what it's about. It's like feature release, bulk coupons. It's Zenler, okay? Feature release in here says it in there as well. Day with Zenler, we've done them in color sets, okay? Now, anything can happen in a day with Zenler, as it often does. And if people know a day with Zenler, they watch it because they're interested, but it always gives things. If we go in here, and I haven't looked at Ness's videos, but we chapter mark everything. So we make it really clear. Let's have a look at Ness's videos, just curious here. Watch on YouTube. I just want to see if she's chapter marked it and done it the right way in here. No. So Ness really needs to go in here. Is a podcast in here, but these chapter markings are critical for search engine results, and having quite a lot of copy of what you're doing in there is also really important. So I see this many times where people have only a little bit of information in here. If you want to get good search engine results, you want to be putting nice descriptions, chapter markings in here as well. If you want help with that, we have our tutorial site. So on our tutorial site, if you go to where is it now? Let me think, marketing, and you go down to our YouTube challenge here, this will tell you about it all, Ness. So definitely check it out, because it says, you know, exactly what it is here. Really big. It's the biggest thing. People don't care about separation anxiety in dogs. Okay. Now that's why they've come to you, but they're asking for a specific question inside of that. So it doesn't need to be said in every single top line. Yeah. They've come to you. So training behavior, and then underneath you could have separation S Jones. I mean, it's a good card. Don't get me wrong. It's just like looks a bit the same. All of them look the same. So you want to spend that a little bit of time. It's so easy to do with Canva. You can set up your Canva templates. You can reuse it, adjust the colors. That's what we do. We do it all the time. So I'll just jump into a Canva account here. This is not our, this is my kind of one, but you can see how we change colors inside of this stuff. We're continually playing with different colors that are going on inside here. And we can just go in and adjust these. Look, so lots, it's really easy. You can just use the same template and you can just go over and change these inside here. Yeah. So that's how we do it in here. You can see here different versions. See? Yeah. So try to do that because then it won't look the same. All right. Looking at that page, I would think, oh, maybe you've made an error and uploaded the same video 20 times until I actually looked and saw, oh, episode 7, 10, all of those. You might want to reduce it down and create a little thumbnail and then have a description of what it's about and then link directly to the YouTube video. That can be good instead of embedding every single one. What I think I would do is I would embed maybe the first one or two at the top and then have the rest in there as a kind of built up archive. That would work. So be careful of that, Ness, for sure. So hopefully that's going to help you. Right, so separation anxiety in dogs. So let me go and create a new page for this one. This is the podcast one. I'm not going to put those videos in there. I'm going to work on that, but I just want to link everything up. So anxiety in dogs podcast, right? That's all I need to put. People are going to be looking for a podcast because their dog suffers from anxiety. And I'm going to publish this page and click OK. And I'm just going to set up the top part using the template. I'm going to actually use one of these. I didn't save this block out, but I think I'm going to, because most of them have got the text at the bottom. So another way of doing it, if you're a free user, is to open a little tab at the side like this. Press Control, hold to Control, press A, Control C to copy. Jump into the page, open this one up, Control A to copy, delete out, Control V to paste it in, and click OK. And then I've got that across, and I want to put that image in there. So I've got that image here. Where's Ness? There it is. That's the same image. I'm going to upload without crop, jump back to there. Oops. Sorry. Go back. Okay. Something strange is going on. Let me just delete it out. Okay. If you want to make this a bit smaller, we can do that. Okay. And then you got something that looks like that. Now, by the way, Ness chose this typeface in here. Okay. So she actually chose this typeface. She wanted it different than what she's got on the Weebly site. So that's a text in there. So again, we can grab the text or we can put text in there. Let me just close that one down. So this is a page I'm working on. I'm going to blocks, empty block, drag the block in. I've got the blocks on full width. So I'm going to set this on full width. Then I'm going to add a row. And then I can move this to roughly the same as that. And then inside here, I can drop some text. Copy, copy. I think this is the wrong size. Just need to put this on 18. Okay, move this up a bit. Away it. Save that. Okay, those can be dropped in if Ness wants to do that. She can come in here and drop these into 2 columns, and then she can add a video. I'll just start her off. So I got an embed code for this. Yeah. So I'm going to be using, I could upload, but I'm going to use the embed code from the site. So I'm going to go to the first video. I'm going to open it up, pause it. I'm going to go to share. I'm going to go to embed code. I'm going to steal that embed code, copy it. I'm going to jump across to here. I'm going to go embed code, drop it in there and click add. There it is there. So I do that for the next one as well. Open that one up, view it on YouTube. I'm going to go share, embed, copy that code, jump back to the site. I'm doing it twice so you guys can see, and then you repeat that process. Go in embed code, drop the embed code, click add. There you go. And then I can do the same for that. So I could duplicate that out, and then you could swap those out for the correct embed code and work your way through. All right, so we've got that style down there. And then we've got more text going in there. And we've got a podcast channel data. Now, this is pulled in from her podcast channel. And you can see in here. And I think this has been done via, I'm not sure where it's from, Apple Podcast. So you'll be able to grab code and put it into the site. So this happens the same with Acuity as well, your scheduler. So to put that code in there, you need to create a row. And then for the element type, you need to pick HTML block. Now this HTML block will allow you to put code. So if you click the little gear icon, go change the content, you should be able to paste your code directly into here. Okay, and then it will appear. So that is the custom HTML block. And then that page will basically be done. All right. Oh, you've got a lot there. So that page is then finished. So I've done that page really. You just need to get that code from them. Okay. So that's that page done. Great. So I'm going to click save to that. And now I need to link that to podcast. So once again, I'm going to go up the top, go to the menu. I want to go add. I'm going to go podcast. I'm going to go select, go to link. I want to find that page. There it is, podcast. Take the relative URL and I want to dump it in there and click save and save it here. And then I'm going to test it again. So we're going through these pages quite quickly. Oh, we've got loads of time. That's good. Okay. So here we go, podcast, and there is our stuff. Remember, that's HTML, that's from another site, so you'll be putting that in there. And that's that page. So we've got the About Us page as well. We put that in there. The trainers page, the Guardians page, and there. So I have another page to do now. It's the blog and the contact. So I'm going to jump quickly to the contact before tackling the blog. And this is very simple in here. There is a booking calendar here. And if you look, it's Acuity. So again, this is code dragged in from Acuity into the website. And you can do that with Zenler. I have actually done it. And I've put it in here because I dealt with Sarah and she was using Acuity and I took her code and dropped it in here as well. So I can help you with this after Ness, but you'll need to go into your Acuity account and you'll also have to go into your podcast account to grab that code to put it in. But I'm basically going to put the HTML block in there. So this has just got a contact. There's no, there's a wait list here. This goes through to a marketing funnel. And we want to create a funnel on here with the same content. So it's still quite a bit to do. Right, so I'm going to take this and I have an idea. I want that banner at the top. So I'm going to be creating a new page. So I'm finished with that one at the moment. Let me just close these down so it becomes clear again, and Canva as well. And I'm going to create a new page. And this is going to be this page here. So it's contact. So let me have a look. I want to name this correctly. So I'm going to go add page and I'm going to go so this is a little bit different. I've said anxious dog instead of anxiety. So different word, but it could again be picked up by the search engine. So it's quite a good word. So I'm going to go publish the page. I'm going to add this and we're going to be dumping in the AI image that I've got. So I want to grab that. I'm just going to open this up because it's the same format for this dog here. So let me save myself hassle as I'm using this block header on everything. I'm going to save it. Header version 2. All right, good. That's going to make it easier for me. All right, so I'm going to refresh this page a second. The reason I refresh the page is I just create that block and it might not appear in my custom blocks. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go to custom blocks. And if I scroll down the bottom, there it is. I'm going to drag it in. And there it is. I want to change that image to a lovely AI image that I created specifically for this. So let's go upload image and there it is there. So I did a little AI image using Kling AI and I just asked it to create a puppy like with a phone and it's done quite a nice little job. So upload without crop. There it is. And inside here, I want to then go back to here, schedule an appointment below. Okay. I'm just thinking whether I should use all this text or whether only some of it. I think I'm going to use two parts here. I'm going to use contact me or schedule an appointment. Now, that's quite good, but it's covering a little bit. So you might want to do a little overlay for this. So I'm going to use a background overlay, black, and it will just knock it back a little bit. So I'll let that stuff stand through. But that looks quite nice. Okay, so now I want to just add my text in here. So I'm going to grab this. Again, following the same format, we've got full width. I want 3 in there. Bring this out, bring this out. And then I want to add my text in here. Make sure that it's 18. Don't need that top line, really. It's already there. I'll bring that a bit closer. Right, and then what Ness will have to do is again drop the HTML into that code block because below it is this. And we've also got this funnel. So there's also become a VIP. This is much bigger and it's in bold. So I need to take this out, change it. Okay, so let me go in, add a plus, and I'm going to do an H2 heading here. And we'll put that in here like that. Okay. And then we'll have a button. Again, save yourself time. If you've got a button in another block, which I definitely have in there, just use it. So I go in here, I go, that's the button I want to use. And I'm going to get rid of this. So I'm going to drop the button in there. I'm going to go center. And if you've got any other elements like this you want to use, you can drag it in. And then when you're finished, you can just delete it out. That way I've got that button. So I just grabbed it. It just saves like minutes of time, but it can save you a lot of time doing this. So inside here, you want to change it to your color that you've got. So I can't remember what the color was. I haven't got my branding sheet, so I need to go into Canva. There it is there. And let me just pick that color real quick. There it is. Oh, it's okay. I actually prefer it. I think I'll do it in black. Yeah, I think that warrants like an actual piece in there. So I've been using rounded corners for a lot of this stuff. So I think that's what I'll do for this. So I'm going to do that rounded corner. We did it earlier. And I'll go in here and do a border width of 2. Come in here for solid. This was 10, if I remember correctly. And then I can put a nice color like that. That looks good. I can drop that in there then. Okay, just stands out a bit, and I give it a background color that just stands out. And then of course you're going to have the rest of that running down there. We've got the Ness Jones block in there as well, so I'm just going to put that in. We've got that saved as a block. There it is. Drop that in. And so we got her bit at the bottom, and this page is done. So I'm going to click save to that. Click done. And now we can link to this page. So this is that contact page. So we want to be linking to this. So again, I'm going to grab the relative URL. And this will be the contact page. So contact, yes. And then we are nearly done. And we go to links here, drop that in, click save. And then I'm testing. So I've got my whole menu system now. It's exactly the same as this. It all links up. I haven't got this full width, but you could, but I don't like it. If I've got it full width, I usually use code to kind of push it in and make things bigger, but I don't want to get into that in this training. So let's save this. So the brief from Ness was, I want to take my Weebly site and I want to turn it into a Zenler site, but I want the Zenler site to look, while you're at it, to look slightly better than what I've already got on Weebly. Now, Ness is using template in Weebly, and she was saying that she's restricted by lots of things. She was saying, for instance, the Weebly site, she couldn't really change the color of the buttons and things like this. It's very basic to what she could do. So I said, well, you don't have that problem with Zenler. You can basically make it whatever color you like, pink if you want, So you have that flexibility in there of doing loads of different things, even putting outlines around it, but you can change it to any color you want really, really quickly. And this is one of the problems that people have with templates. Sometimes they're not flexible enough. So yeah, okay, working in Zenler, you need to know how to use the page builder, but it's pretty easy. Everything's drag and drop. So I prefer that to using templates. Now, when we bring along the page builder 2.0, as I call it, it's going to have later on, it's going to have templates where you can apply templates to pages and things like that. Me personally, I'll probably use it as a base, and then I know that Rakesh said, well, we're not tying you. Even if you use a template style, you can still add, change and modify it. And to me, that was a great relief, because I was thinking, you guys, you'll be saying, if it was stuck like some of the sites, you'd be coming out and saying, why can't I change it to red? It's always in black, and that's what I think Rakesh has looked at as well. So this is why it's taken a long time to do, because it only sets a style, but it also allows that flexibility of being able to modify it just any way you want to. And that's always been something that I personally have always loved about Zenler. I know I work for Zenler, but still, that's one thing I really love about Zenler. This pixel perfect way that you can move things around. It's absolutely amazing the way that you can just shift things around. Not only that, that you can actually just true drag and drop stuff around. Makes it really, really cool. So anyway, that's my little bit on Zenler. Can you tell I love Zenler? Can you tell? So there we go. And 30-minute zoom. I'm just going to highlight these a bit more so they're a bit bigger. But that looks pretty good. So now I've got that built into the system. I'm going to check that all my pages work. And then we need to go to the next step. So I'm basically doing as much as I can in this time. So I've got 54 minutes left. So I'm going to come in here. We're going to check all these pages. So you've got the lovely thing there. So look at that page compared to this page, right? It's so much better, isn't it? For very little work. So we're going to have the code where all the stuff drops down there. It's going to look marvelous. In the podcast, I showed you how to add the videos. I gave a little bit of advice, and also for the podcast channel, Apple channel there, Ness can drop the code in there, no problems. The about page, we changed that. I did say to Ness, if she's got a high res image of her with her dogs, we can do a background, and that would look really cool. But that looks nice as well, with the coloured blocks down there, which I'll put in after this is finished. Trainers inside here. So you've got these lovely blocks in here, signature program. You can request it here by email. And you've got the little book buttons that go through. I don't know where they go through to yet. I'm just designing the site. You got this one as well, which was quite nice. We changed it, so we kept it a little bit more like the home page because it worked that way with the text on the right hand side. The home page does the same thing here. So most of the pages, the text is underneath, but now they've got, all of them have got this lovely header on them, which looks really good as well. So looks really good, I think. I think this is so much better now than the Weebly site that you're looking at here. It's just better, it's just more vibrant, it's more there. That's quite a nice page, but different size here, sizing here. These little blocks doesn't look as good as the Zenler site. So that was the brief. That Ness said to me, was to try and make it better, to make it look good. So we introduced all these different blocks going into here and stuff to get this color. And I think it really comes together. It really looks like it's part of the brand here as well. So yes, of course, we can modify slightly and change things, and we need to check through the site. Ness will need to check through the site, making sure that the fonts are the same size for all the headings and things like that. But basically the site is now together. We've got a fully working site here. And that was the brief. So what you would do from this point on is you would look at the site and you'd see where stuff goes to. So where does this go to? This goes to decode. This goes to another site of hers, which is here. So I know she's changing it and moving stuff across to Ness Jones, to the Ness Jones site, but she's not there yet with that. So at the moment, I'm not going to link this up because I think she's going to have it all in this site. So Guardians here, I think learn more. So again, this goes to the decoding site. So these things need to be brought across. There's quite a lot of different pages, all linked to a page within the site. So again, that needs doing as well. I might talk to her about this afterwards. Your coach. So this goes to the About Us page. So it's an internal link. So that's good. I can do that. So if I go back here, this is on the Guardians page. I'm going to do that. I'm going to link to the About Us as an internal link. So let me go to the page, which is the, this is the Guardian page. This links to the About Us page. So the Guardian page. And let's go to the Guardian page, which is which one? That one. Edit. And I'll grab the About Us page there. There's the Guardian page. There it is. That's the button. So all I'm going to do to link internally is to drop that link in there, click save. I'm going to preview it and this will jump to the About Us page then. So let's just double check it. Let's go down here. Let's click that. It will jump to About. Okay, so that's the About page. So we've done an internal link, linking from one to the other. So Ness will need to go through those and check those. And any pages outside on the decoding site, we can either bring into this site or we can set up a new way that it's working. So the other thing was on one of the pages, there was a link to a funnel area, which I think she's got sign me up. That's to a course on the decoding. So she's going to bring her courses across. Okay. So the decoding site is a Zenler site, I think. So I want to find that funnel. Where's that funnel? I think it's on the home page. Become a decoder. No. Download now. That goes into a funnel system. So that's her funnel system there, which is there. So I need to set a funnel up for that. That's okay. So it's got a pop up. So this is a Zenler. This is a Zenler site. So what I could do, and I think it'd be easier, is to go to Ness. Okay, get me into the decodingyourcanine.com site and let me go in there and grab the code. That way I could just copy it straight in as a funnel inside Zenler. That would be much easier. So there's no point in me making this. I'll just say to Ness, like, can I go in there? Just gonna grab that code. I'll drop it in there and then we're off. So also I've noticed in here that we have two pop-ups. So if you land on this page, not only are you getting this, I had a pop-up with enter your details as well. Personally, I would have one or the other, not to have two things popping up. That's it's crazy. I've seen that dog before. That's on Pixabay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It looks familiar. I was going to use it. Yeah, so I can use that and I can put that into the site. So, oh, there it comes up again. Digital separation anxiety. So we've got put your name and email in there and sign up. It's interesting that there's a pop-up as well. Always go for one or the other, I think, because continuous things pop up can get annoying. So that's what I'm going to say to Ness there. So I'm happy with that. Most of these are going to the decoding site. So there's a lot of content on there that I think she wants to bring some of it across. So, or put the colors in here. Let me just have a look. It's another funnel. She's got all the funnels in this decoding site. So they all need to be brought across. So this is the decoding your canine site. Okay. So it's just a course page. But that's nice. That's really good. Yeah, see, these are all right. Series bundle, decoding summit series, summits. Yeah, really cool stuff. I like them. I like all the colors and things going on. So great. Well, I think I've done my job. There is a little bit at the bottom, the footer. So with the dynamic footer, unlike this site, Ness Jones site down here, the footer has got different stuff laid out. Now, with Zenler, our footer menu isn't really, you can't just drop blocks in, right? So the only way to do a block, because there's a menu system in here as well at the bottom, and I use it for things like the terms and conditions. I don't want to put it in the top menu, you just want to put it in the terms in the footer. So in the terms and conditions, privacy, cookie, things like support, contact, all go down the bottom. However, if Ness wants to have the same style as this site, then which I would avoid, because you've already got an About Us page and you've already got socials on the dynamic footer, powered by SOP Digital Solutions, right? So put as a Weebly. Copyright we've already got. So I probably leave it as the dynamic. It's just cleaner down here. But you can alter these menu items. So some people don't want things like courses. I could delete that out and it will remove from here. And I don't want home on there as well because I've got it in the top menu. Icons, you attach these. So you just go into this and you put the link to your Facebook page. Okay, so you can just add them in there and they'll pop in. Terms and conditions and support, you need to go into those pages and format them. Maybe use the same header along the top, make sure the text is the same size. But other than that, you're kind of ready to go. So the other question Ness was asking was like, how do we set up the domain? So that's all done. We have documentation on it, but that's all inside of, where am I? That's also inside of the site settings here, where you can go and set up your custom domain. Okay, so you can set it up there and then you can go into integration. So I'm going to show her how to do that off of this workshop. So that is it, guys. I'm kind of done everything I need to do. I'm now going to just jump to here. I'm going to send Ness an email. She's going to have a look at it. She's going to do some alterations. What I want to do is I want to do a little bit of a follow-up on this because there's some real tweaks that can be done to make the site better and closer matching. But you can see there that we had that site, which was a Weebly site. It could be a WordPress site. It could be a Wix site, Squarespace. It could be anything. It could be a website that you've seen on the internet. And you can see how easy it was to build that out. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, but you can see that within what, 4 hours, well, 3 hours now, really. Is it 3? Did 2 in the first one, then it was 1, and now we've done 1.25. So 4.25 hours, we got a whole site together. It's pretty good, isn't that? So migrating stuff from other sites is not a problem if you just sort of take things one step at a time. Don't look at it as like a huge thing. Just take it as one step at a time. I can see there's funnels to be built, but because the funnel's already built in Zenler, I can copy the code and drop them in there. Literally to create that funnel, like this funnel that I've got here on the decoding site, if I've got the content, will take me less than 15 minutes to take this from her other site onto that site. So it's already there. Okay. Uploading the media and all of these things you can do. I mean, courses can take a bit longer if you're taking them across from another site, another platform. But if you've got everything laid out and structured, then it's not a big problem. So make sure that you're super organized when you're creating your lessons and your courses. I create folders and I have everything in folders, so I know exactly what stuff is. I call it lesson 1, lesson 2, you know, if it's in the section, sec 1, lesson 1, and then what it is, you know, sec 2, lesson 10, you know what it is. And that way you can just go onto any platform, whether it be Zenler or not, and just upload, bulk upload them, sort them all out because they're all labeled, and bang, you're done. If you start labeling stuff and you start putting stuff all over the place, then you're not going to find it. So try to keep your desktop ultra clean. Try to keep your drives really, really clean and organized. Okay. And I guarantee there's some of you guys that will be watching it that'll have 100 things spread over your desktop. I see it all the time. My desktop stays very, very clean all the time. You know, I've got you're not seeing my other desktop, but I've got like maybe 20 things and I'm doing a ton of work and it still looks quite organized. If I can share, if I can share that screen, I can make it clear to you. Let me go into main screen and you'll see I've got my zoom up as well. So main screen, let me just swap this over for this one. It's going to go a little bit batty, all right, but you can see, let me just move this out of the way. Yeah, and I'll move this out of the way and you can see that that's really clean in here. Look, it's just this stuff. This is stuff I'm working on currently, and these here and this and this and this were all for today's exercise. So I can put those into a folder. In fact, I keep it all folded, so I put it in there. I'll take these, I'll put them in there, and there you go. I've now got a clean desktop and I've got a ton of stuff going on. So just think about that when you're working. The cleaner you've got things set, the better for you. All right. So I'm going to have a quick look on Facebook group. I'm going to see if anyone's in there, anyone's chatting, and if they're not, I think I'll end the live, even though we're a bit early, because it's been a hard day today. Oh, hi, Sarah. So, Sarah, right at the beginning, I cover your question. Yes, I did, Sarah. So you'll be happy, and it's good you're in here as well. So look at the beginning of this session that you're on now. Hopefully are you still here, Sarah? Hello. So I've got one. There's no one else watching. That's good. It's just, I think Sarah's disappeared as well. So no one's watching me. All right. So I'm going to go then. All right. I've done what I planned to do. I planned to get Ness's site done. I've completed that. I'm very happy with the way that it went. I think it looks better than the original site. Personally, if I say so myself. So we just have a quick look. I'll do a side by side. How about that? That'd be good. So let me go in, have a look. We're going to do a side by side. Okay, let me just jump between the two. Right, let me share my screen in a second. Oh, where are you? Where are you? So a little bit of responsive issues need to be sorted in the site, but I've shown that both sites were like that. So let's go to the original here. Remember, so it's slightly changed because that's what Ness wanted, okay? So we're not exactly the same. Let me just go to... All right, okay. So here we go. So let me just put myself a little bit bigger here in the corner. Right. So this is the actual site. Yeah. This is the one that she's got. So you got all that stuff there. And this is the one that we created today. So again, you know, it's just cleaner. It just looks cleaner. It's got all these little units in here. You can open stuff up. Very cool. But looks like this, you know, people that don't know your site would be like, ah, if they came back in a few days, they would be like, ah, it's the same site. Yeah, go to Guardians now. So you got this lovely header at the top, little paw, so it's got that edge to it. And inside here, this is what this one looks like. So, you know, pretty boring when you look at the difference between the two, the impact that you're giving, but it's still the same. We could do better things with this as well. And then we go to trainers, and again, trainers, we've got the dog. This looks quite nice, but we've got big text here. Goes up and down in sizes a little bit. And if we go to trainers here, we've got the nice logo, and we've got these lovely bits going on in here with that. Okay, so let's go to about. Again, we've got Ness there, and I want her to change this to her picture, but it will be Ness with the dog. So it basically be this picture, but it will be covering all of this with details below on a nice gradient or something, look clean. So again, really nice. And inside there, the same, yeah? So let's move to podcast. So the podcast was one of the last pages we did. We go to the podcast channel again, looks good, yeah? And we got there, that's nice text in there. And then we've got these all down here, a little bit smaller, a little bit more compressed. Some ideas there about putting text in there and not showing every single video you've got. And then Ness can put the podcast channel inside there, and she can do that using the HTML blocks I've got there. Okay, so I can't access that. And then finally, we've got the contact page. So nice little dynamic image there. We tinted this black a little bit so that the text would show up over the top. And then we created these blocks that work with the other pages that also had those slightly rounded blocks. And again, we were going to have the Acuity form put in there under the custom block. So if we look at this one here, we had this, okay? And one final thing that we didn't do was the blog. So we haven't got the blog in here yet, but to set up a blog's really going to be easy. We just need to go down to site, down to blog, and then we just need to enable and add our blog, and then we can add our blog in there and pretty much simulate what we've got inside here. Be slightly different. We can use this cover art as well in here if we want to, so we can add those. So when she's ready to do that, she'll do that. Maybe we'll do a revisit of this, because I'll work with her and then finish some bits off, and I'll do videos on the bits that I do change where they're relevant, and maybe on the next day with Zenler we'll just have an overview of what we did so you can see the kind of final result. But I'm sure you agree now, you can do anything in Zenler, right? So if you've got another site and you want to get the same style and form over, then you can. So a lot of people use WordPress sites, and they've got WordPress sites that they've been using for years, and they've got a lot of content, they get a lot of traffic through it, but they want to use Zenler for their courses. And I say, and lots of people say this, is like, well, don't disconnect the WordPress site. Just link your courses to the Zenler site and make your Zenler site look like the WordPress site. And I've just shown you how you can do that there. So if you're interested in doing this, spend a few hours watching these videos, maybe follow step by step with the processes. And if you do this, then put a post on the Facebook group. Tell us what you've done and how easy it was for you to make the same look and feel on your Zenler site as your other site, as your main site, because we would be really interested to see this. I do live builds all the time, and I show you, like, give me a site, I can make it look like any other site that you've got, and I prove it to you by doing it. But I want to see you guys doing it, because although I'm showing you the training, if you're not doing it, I don't know if it's because it's too difficult or not. And I need that feedback from you guys going forwards. So that is it. I'm going to finish a little bit. I'm half an hour early. Guys, I can't see any questions coming into the group. So I'm going to consider you're going to let me go home early. All right. So I'm going to clock off now. And I hope you've enjoyed a day with Zenler. And that was all about you guys. So Ness Jones showing a complete build. She put a post on Facebook. And at the end there, at the beginning of this session, I went through all of those questions that you put in there. So you might see more stuff come up. I do answer them. When I say that I'm going to do something, I will get round to doing it. Okay. So I said that was for a day with Zenler. So I've thrown it in the end bit. We've had a really busy day with doing a whole site build here. We had Kevin in talking about the amazing partner program for you guys. That's all of you. And also what's going to happen with the promotion and why it's such a good thing what we're doing here with the ending the free plan. It means for you paid users, only people on the platform now that we're doing our training for are going to be paid users. Okay, there's going to be a few people finding out what the platform's about, but it's going to be mainly for you guys. So it's not going to restrict us. I don't have to say you do this if you're a free user, or you can't do that if you're a free user, because I know you all have access to all of the features inside Zenler. So guys, have a fantastic weekend. There is so much going on for us at Zenler. We're going to start the promotion on Tuesday. Get ready on Monday, because Kevin's doing a very special office hours. We're going to be bringing more lives. You're going to see lots of adverts come up. Get into it as well. Start trying to get your referrals into Zenler. Say, guys, you're a referral and you haven't upgraded yet. Now is your chance. On the 1st of July, you're going to get a pop-up in your admin. Click it, upgrade. You'll get 60 days of pro access for free, and there's training for you. You don't have to lift a finger. You can just leave it to us to look after your referrals, and we will try to get them to see the merits of Zenler. And at the end of that, on the 31st, we're hoping all those guys are going to turn around and say, do you know what, this is the platform for me, and they buy into the platform, and then you get your partner commission. That's what we're hoping for. So you want to be trying doubly hard to get people in. You want to talk to everybody. You want to put this across all of the Facebook groups you're in, telling people if they're looking for a platform, now is the time to do it. Use the platform I use, Zenler. They're giving you 60 days of free access for free. 60 days, and they're hand holding you for 60 days and showing you how you can start your business, and that costs thousands of dollars. All right, so Have a great weekend. See you very, very soon.